according to legend, the true marvels of Cusco weren't all on the surface. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they heard incredible stories. Chroniclers, including one anonymous Jesuit priest writing in 1594, described vast underground passages. These weren't just cellars, they were said to be massive tunnels connecting the most sacred sites of the empire. The main legend told of a primary artery running from the Coricancha, the great temple of the sun at Cusco's center, all the way to the mighty fortress of Sacsayhuaman, over a mile away on the city's outskirts. With time, the tales grew even more fantastical. They spoke of labyrinths so complex that explorers who dared to enter were never seen again. They whispered of vast quantities of Inca gold, spirited away from Francisco Pizarro's invading forces, and hidden deep in the earth through these secret passages. But while legends focused on gold, archaeologists suspected the real importance of the tunnels had far more to do with power and ceremony than with treasure. For generations, stories circulated of children disappearing into holes in the ground, or of church workers accidentally breaking through into ancient hollow cavities. It was said the entrances were finally sealed in the 19th century, locking the secrets away for good. For a long time, that's all it was, a fantastic, unprovable story. So, how do you find a mythical tunnel network buried beneath a bustling modern city? For decades, the Chincanas were the stuff of treasure maps and wild speculation. Past attempts to find them had all failed, often because they were based on misreadings of colonial texts or simply because they didn't have the right tools. The challenge seemed impossible. Cusco isn't an abandoned ruin. It's a living city of hundreds of thousands of people, with centuries of colonial and modern construction built directly on top of Inca foundations. You can't just start digging. Any investigation had to be surgical and non-destructive. The breakthrough came not with a shovel, but with science. Archaeologists realized they had to follow the clues from the past, but with the eyes of the future. They went back to the original sources, the historical texts from the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. That 1594 text from the anonymous Jesuit was especially crucial, as it described the tunnel's path with surprising accuracy, noting it ran beneath the bishop's residence behind the Cusco Cathedral. Armed with these historical maps, a team led by archaeologists Jorge Calero Flores and Mildred Fernandez Palomino began their high-tech search. They used a method called acoustic prospecting, striking the ground and listening for the echo. A deep, hollow sound meant a possible void underneath. Once they had a general path mapped out, they brought in ground-penetrating radar, GPR. This tech sends electromagnetic waves into the earth, creating a detailed 3D map of whatever lies beneath, without moving a single stone. And as the data came in, the myth began to crumble, replaced by astonishing fact. In January 2025, the team held a press conference that sent shockwaves through the world of archaeology. They announced that the legends were true. They had confirmed the existence of a massive Inca tunnel system. Using GPR and acoustic prospecting, they had mapped a primary tunnel stretching over 1,750 meters, more than a mile long, running at a depth of up to 2.5 meters beneath the city. And its route was exactly as the legends had foretold. The main passage connects the Coricancha, the Temple of the Sun, directly to the Sacsayhuaman fortress. It snakes beneath the Incan Colcampada Palace and the Church of San Cristobal, following the path described by Spanish chroniclers hundreds of years ago. And this wasn't just a single tunnel, it's a network. The radar revealed 3 additional branches splitting off the main passage. One leads to a sector of Sacsayhuaman called Muyukmarca. Another runs behind the Church of San Cristobal, and a third leads to Calispuquio, a sacred spring likely used for Inca ceremonies. The discovery proved this wasn't just a random passage, but a deliberately planned system connecting key ceremonial, administrative, and sacred sites of the Inca capital. The full scale of this network is still being uncovered, and the physical excavations are just now getting underway. While physical entry into the entire network is still in the early stages, the radar scans and preliminary work have already given us a breathtaking look at Inca ingenuity. The data suggests the tunnels were created using a cut-and-cover method. The Inca likely dug huge trenches, lined them with precisely cut stone walls, placed stone beams on top for a roof, and then buried the whole thing. The passages themselves are immense, measuring about 8.5 feet wide and over 5 feet tall, wide enough, archaeologists suspect, for Inca nobles to have been carried through on litters. The scans show walls built in the iconic trapezoidal shape of Inca architecture, a design that makes them incredibly resistant to earthquakes. They even found evidence of what appear to be sophisticated drainage systems built into the tunnels, a testament to the Incas' mastery of water management. This wasn't a rough-hewn cave. This was subterranean architecture, built with the same skill as the temples on the surface. So, what about the legendary Inca gold? As of now, no treasure has been found. For some, that might be a disappointment, but for archaeologists, what they have found is far more valuable. Carved into the tunnel walls are what appear to be small niches, which they believe were used for offerings. This strongly suggests the tunnels were not just for secret travel, but were sacred spaces themselves, likely used for religious processions and ceremonies hidden from the public eye. So who, then, was allowed inside these sacred, hidden passages? The confirmation of the Chincanas is forcing a complete reevaluation of how we see the Inca capital. These tunnels weren't just a place to hide gold. The evidence suggests they were a fundamental part of the city's design and function. The discovery has opened up several theories about their true purpose, though the exact reasons are still uncertain. The most prominent theory is that they served as an exclusive transport network for the elite. The Inca emperor, high priests, and nobles could have moved between the most important temples, palaces, and fortresses of Cusco without being seen by common people, reinforcing their godlike status by appearing and disappearing as if by magic. Another major purpose was likely water management. The connection to the Calaspuquio spring suggests the tunnels may have been part of a complex hydraulic system, channeling water for both practical and ceremonial use, a hallmark of Inca engineering seen at sites like Machu Picchu. And finally, there's the strategic military angle. In the event of a siege, the tunnels would have provided a secure way to move troops, transport supplies, and maybe even launch surprise attacks. They were a hidden advantage, an invisible layer of defense for the heart of the empire. This discovery shows us that Cusco may have been a city with two layers: the visible city on the surface, and a hidden, sacred, and strategic city running right underneath it, all perfectly integrated. It's a stunning insight into the complex minds of Inca urban planners. For 500 years, the Chincanas were a myth. Today, they are a confirmed archaeological fact. For centuries, people walked these streets, unaware of the secret world that lay just meters beneath their feet. The 1,750 meters of tunnels mapped so far are just the beginning. Physical excavations are now in their initial phases, as archaeologists prepare to finally step into passages that have been sealed for centuries. What will they find? Will there be artifacts left behind from the last days of the empire? Will the niches still hold remnants of ancient offerings? And what about the other legends? Some chroniclers spoke of a network that could be as long as 8 kilometers. Are there more tunnels, even deeper and more extensive, still waiting to be found? The mystery of the Chincanas is far from solved. In fact, it has just entered its most exciting chapter. The labyrinth is finally open, and we are just now beginning to follow its path into the depths of history. What do you think was the main reason for these incredible tunnels? And what else might be hiding beneath Cusco? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And for more journeys into the world's greatest ancient mysteries, don't forget to like and subscribe.